Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I'm going to show you how to organize embroidery floss. Now I want to show you my original method, which is going to be really similar to what I'm showing you today, and that's to put them all on a dowel. Now this works really great for a number of reasons, but it's not going to be the best solution for all projects. So I want to just show you really quickly how easily it is to remove the embroidery floss that you need. And it never gets tangled. It's super easy to get off, but the one problem that I had when I did this was that it would fall off the end of the dowel, and you can see I'm just showing you how easily it falls off. So it got a little bit frustrating to do that. I even hung a little bit of string so I could hang it in my schoolroom, but it wasn't the best solution. Now something else is that you will have to cut your embroidery floss unless you want it super duper long, and if you prefer to have it long, then storing it in this method may not be the best choice. Now I just showed you something that I picked up from Goodwill, and I think it's for plates as a display, and I thought it would make the perfect hanging solution for my embroidery floss. So I just want to show you that embroidery floss comes in a lot of different qualities and thicknesses and just types, and the one that I had originally I think is 2-ply, but it's quite thick, and the new ones that I got are I think of a higher quality. There are 6 strands together, but they are much thinner, and I really kind of like this one a lot more for a couple of reasons. The first being that you can separate the 6 strands of embroidery floss and just use 3 at a time if you need less embroidery floss for your project. Now I have removed all of the embroidery floss from the packaging that it came in. I have it really super long, and then I have folded it over 4 times. Now you can choose to fold this over less or more depending on your needs, but just know that your embroidery floss will end up being whatever length you cut it, which means that for some projects you'll end up needing to rethread your needle multiple times in order to get your project completed, versus if you left your embroidery floss in the original packaging. However, of course, if you leave it in the original packaging and you start to use it, you're more likely to end up with a big messy ball of embroidery floss, and then that's just not going to be really easy to use at all for anybody, and it's also going to take a ton of time to undo all those knots. So it just took me a second here to figure out which direction I need to put this embroidery floss, and you just want to make it so that the thicker rounded part is at the front and not at the back, so that you can easily pull your embroidery floss. Don't forget you need to hold the bottom piece in order to pull the embroidery floss out. This will make a lot more sense once you start to actually use this. Now I'm going to show you one more time with the orange floss here the best way to remove the floss. Now you just want to take it apart from the outside in and then wrap it around and cut it. And this is what it looks like when it's done. It took me about an hour to do all of this. Of course, the bottom row was already done. I just transferred that over from my old storage to this new storage. Didn't have quite enough room, so I put some of those neutrals there in the back. I love the way this looks. I love how easy it is to access, and I'm going to show you where I put this in my schoolroom because it makes for a nice bit of decoration in our schoolroom. Even though it's not in the most convenient spot, we are running out of storage space, that's for sure. So the only thing that you might consider doing differently is choosing longer strands of embroidery floss. This works well for us. We are crafty, but we're not super into embroidery floss, so depending on your needs, you may need to do this at a different level as far as like how long you want your lengths. So this is my schoolroom, and you can see that it is packed with supplies, so there's not a whole lot of space left over in order to store these embroidery flosses. So I have chosen this little spot where it's kind of at the back of our bookcase, and I have screwed 2 little screws into my bookcase, and I've hung this up, and it works really beautiful. It's really easy to use, and I can easily take it off of the screws and set this on the table because it sets upright without falling over. I love this. I'm pretty sure it was used as a plate display, but of course you could make this on your own, but I think for the price that I paid at Goodwill, I think it was $2.99, I think it was really worth it just to use this instead. Alright, so if you have a different method for organizing your embroidery floss, of course, I would love to hear about it. I know it does take a little bit of time in order to get this set up, but I'll tell you, the time spent up front will repay itself in the future when you do not have to untangle embroidery floss if you do not use any kind of organizational method for it. Alright, so don't forget that you can find me on a daily basis by visiting me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine. And if you want to see some of our other projects and tutorials, you can tap on the screen right now.